Good morning. It's a golden Monday, y'all. What's going on? Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Cannon Show. Alright. How y'all feeling? How you doing? Hey, y'all know that's the theme song to the Carla Cannon Show. Come on in the room. Good morning. Hey, I hope y'all had a blessed weekend. National Love Day was yesterday. We're loving on ourselves. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. Come on here. You got to know who you are, know whose you are, and never settle for less than God's best. Good morning. It's a golden morning, y'all. Come on, take a moment and create that vibe. It's Monday. Juanita, how you enjoy your birthday? Hey, Mildred. It's a golden morning. What's going on, y'all? Hey, Queen, I see you. Hey, good morning. Y'all know how we do. Welcome to the Carla Cannon Show, where I share transformative concepts to teach you how to level up in life and business. It comes naturally. Come on, let's get these morning declarations up and popping. Let's go, let's go. Good morning. It's a golden morning, y'all. All right, let's declare and decree this aloud. I am loved and accepted by God. Come on. I am enough. Say that with me. I am enough. I am forgiven. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new, baby. Come on. I am the interruption in my bloodline. Come on. I am worthy. Yes, you are. Come on. Declare and decree it. I am healed, whole, and set free from the pain of my past. Come on, come on. I expect something great to happen to me today. Let's go. Hey. All right, good to see you enjoyed your birthday. Come on, say it with me. I expect something great to happen to me today. All right, all right. Oh, I got to hear my part. My life like this. Let me tell y'all something. You have a blessed life. I need you to know that, declare and decree it, stand in that, walk in that, own that, and accept that. Somebody type on the screen. Come on, say it with me. Type in the comments. I have a blessed life. Life is what you make it. It's all about how you perceive life. Your mindset towards it determines how you will experience it. And so no matter what's happening around you, you got to trust that God is doing a great work in you, and there is nothing missing, lacking, or broken in your life. Everything I need, I have access to. Come on here. I am indeed loved by God. I am the righteousness of God. I am the head and not the tail. Every bill is paid. I have a wealthy mind. I have a millionaire mind set on this Millionaire Mindset Monday. I am making boss moves authentically and unapologetically. I don't hate on nobody. I ain't mad at nobody. My conscience is clear and my heart is open. Come on. You got to begin to declare and decree over your own life every single day of your life, and understand that something great is going to happen to you today. And so I have a blessed life. You got to declare that. You got to decree that. You got to believe that. You got to walk that thing out so that you can manifest it. I have a blessed life. Sometimes we don't have a bad day. Sometimes we don't have a bad life. We may have a bad day. And so we got to stop over analyzing things that take place in our lives and begin to ask God, what did this come to teach me? What is the lesson in this experience? So y'all know it's Love Month, right? And love is not just about romantic relationships, but it's a mandate that we all have upon our lives. God calls us to love our neighbor as ourselves. And I believe that this is a great topic. This week, we're talking about fostering healthy relationships. And so before we get started, I want to encourage you to sow your share this with somebody, tag somebody, say tune in, watch the Carla Cannon Show. We are talking about a subject matter that all of us can benefit from. And so we're discussing fostering healthy relationships. And so if I could be completely honest, this is an area that I have struggled with in my life, but I refuse to give up. Come on, I refuse to give up. I remember as a child, I was labeled as being behaviorally, emotionally handicapped. And that's the label that was placed on me. It was called BEH, behaviorally, emotionally handicapped. I was placed in BEH classes where they were saying that I had an inability to manage my emotions and to get along with other people. And so when I begin to think and reflect back as an adult and the challenges that I experienced, it goes back to the labels. I had to learn to denounce those things that were spoken over me and said, no, I don't have an inability of getting along with people. I don't have an inability of managing my emotions from a healthy perspective. But what I have is a lack of information. Maybe I wasn't taught how to properly deal with conflict or how to properly love myself so that I can love other people. And so everything that we do, it has to flow out of who God is, right? And then we got to turn around and give that love to ourselves and then give it to other people. And so I am an advocate for authentic sisterhood, no matter what I've been through in my life, no matter what I have experienced, no matter the mistakes that I've made, no matter the people that have walked away, no matter the people that have betrayed me, no matter, right? No matter what has happened, I am forever an advocate for authentic sisterhood, authentic connections. Connection is very important to me. And I had to really dig in and figure out why is it. And so some of the things I'm going to show, a lot of the things I'm going to share today are things that I have experienced or been enlightened while on my healing journey. I have 36 years and I've learned so much about myself because I've committed to the process. Did you know that your relationships reveal or unveil something about you? Did you know that? Did you know that relationships unveil the good and the bad in you? And so when a relationship goes south, it's never all one person's fault. Sometimes we gotta, well, not sometimes, but we have to learn how to take responsibility for certain things, whether it's friendships, whether it's romantic relationships. It's never all one person's fault. And so a mature mind will say, you know what? I played a part in this, whether your part was being naive, whether your part was being too nice, whether your part was being too opinionated, too judgmental, whether too open, not discerning, whatever it is, you got to take responsibility for it if you are going to foster healthy relationships. So we about to dig into this, and it is my prayer that you guys learn, just like I'm learning, how to have a healthy relationship with God, not your grandma's God, not your mama's God, but have a relationship with God for yourself, not through them, but with him directly. You understand? And so then turn around and allow yourself to have a healthy relationship with you, because you stuck with you. You know, I say this all the time. This is all you got. And so you got to love every part of who you are. Even when you make mistakes or you do something bad, you got to say, I did something bad, but I am not bad. Come on. And so all of these are practical things that we can use to level up our lives. Because y'all know on the Carla Cannon Show, I'm sharing with you transformative concepts to level up in life and business. And so we got to have a healthy perspective of who we are. So first we must have a healthy relationship with God and ourselves, and then allow that love to flow into our relationships with other people. All right. A lot of times relationships go south because we have unrealistic expectations, misplaced expectations as well upon people. We want them to fill a void that we must be responsible for filling. And we're going to get to that. Most of us don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves, and we look for people to fill the emptiness inside. Come on. Can I tell you, I've had so many friendships, relationships where I was looking for people to fill a void that I learned later that only God could fill. Nobody could replace the pain, the voids that I felt in my life when I felt like I had daddy issues. No matter how much I try to get a substitute, no other human being could replace that void. It could fill that void but God. And so I had to learn that the hard way. And so when you have misplaced expectations or you have unrealistic expectations, you set yourself up for failure, and your relationships will not prosper, because people can only give you according to the capacity in which they have to give you. And guess what else? I believe that sometimes God don't allow people to give you everything that you need, because if you get everything you need from one person, you wouldn't need him, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends. You wouldn't need nobody else but that one person. And God doesn't design it that way. We were created for relationships. This is why it really, bothers me when I hear women say, I don't do other women. And that immediately, when a woman says, I don't fool with other women, that lets me know there's still some hurt, there's some unresolved issues, because, you need female friends. You need, there's something powerful that happens when women come together. And so the enemy knows that. And so your real issue is not other women. Your real issue is the enemy. Your real issue could be your current mindset, your current posture, what you harbor in your heart. And we got to stop allowing new people to pay for what old people have done. Now, let me say this as well. When it comes to fostering a healthy relationship with other people, you got to understand that all of our relationships come to teach us something. And so if you don't learn the lesson, if you and I, because I'm in this too, if we don't learn the lesson that the experience came to teach us, we'll keep going around that same mountain with different people until we learn the lesson. God is so gracious. He'll be like, yeah, you thought the dude that you was dating or the girl that you was dating, bro, you thought that was your issue. No, your issue was much deeper than that. So when we don't get to the root of the matter, we will continuously go around the same mountain, the same cycle. And if there's anybody that's like me that says, yo, I'm coming to break the cycle. I'm coming to break the cycle in 2021. I'm going to break the cycle of broken relationships, broken friendships. I'm going to stop falling out with people. Listen, just because you disconnect don't mean you got to fall out. Don't mean you got to, have an issue with it. And some people gonna have an issue with you, but just because they got an issue with you don't mean you gotta have an issue with them. And so we got to change our perspective as it relates to relationships, the relationship dynamic. We got siblings that don't speak to each other. You know what I'm saying? We got married couples in the same house walking around and talking to each other. We got women who fail to connect because instead they choose to compete just because they're in the same industry. Yo, we got to break the cycle of competition, poor mindsets, self-sabotaging behaviors, limiting beliefs that no longer serve us in 2021. All right. So there are some voids that only God can fill. You understand? And can I tell you this? There are some voids that God won't fill because that's what's going to keep you coming back to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you keep your cup filled. You understand what I'm talking about? Like I remember praying like, God, there was certain voice I just wanted him to feel, and he would feel it for that day. He would feel it for that week, but he made sure I had to keep coming back to him for a refill. I had to stop looking for people to do what only God can do. And that was a problem in some of my romantic relationships and my platonic friendships. All right. So inner healing is required if we're going to experience relationships the way that God intended. Come on. Inner healing is required if we're going to experience relationships the way God intended. None of us were designed to make it out here by ourselves. Why do you think in business you learn a lot about your network determines your net worth? You ever had a door open for you simply because of who you knew? You ever had somebody that can look out for you, put a word in because y'all were connected? God uses people. So this is why we got to experience inner healing, and we got to get this chip off of our shoulder, acting like people owe us something when in essence, they don't owe us anything. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get to a place where we value and cherish the relationships. 2021 is not the year for you to keep calling people your friends that God has already exposed that their hearts are far away from you. Just because y'all grew up in kindergarten, you know what I'm saying, known each other since preschool, child. You keep saying, that's my friend, that's my friend. And I hear this a lot. We can go 20 years and not talk, and we still pick back up where we left off. Well, if you could go 20 years without talking to a person and y'all pick up where y'all left off, y'all cool, y'all got a connection, but y'all might not necessarily be friends, because your friends, you're going to want to be there for special moments. Come on, y'all. We got to redefine friendships. And I hear this so much. Like, I'm not a needy friend. Okay. And then if you are someone who is clear on what you need in your friendships, People will make you feel like you too needy. You need too much. No, it's not that you're too needy. You're just very clear on what it is that you desire within your friendships. You got to be clear on the type of friend that you are so that you can attract those who can balance out, you know what I'm saying, your contributions that you have to offer. And so we got to really begin to really think about our friendships. Stop calling people friend. Y'all, I'm telling you, I've done this. I was calling people bestie boo and all this. And God was like, now I done showed you 1,000 times. Listen, you can never be friends with somebody who want to be you. I know. I'm giving y'all the balance of this thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful, because when somebody literally wants your life, they want you. They want to be you. You do have people who have ill intentions and want to get connected with you for the wrong reasons, but everybody's not like that. What keeps me hopeful in the midst of the transitions that I've experienced in life and relationships? What keeps me hopeful is knowing that, all people aren't bad. You know? Like, if you still walking around talking about I don't believe in love, I ain't studying no relationship, that lets me know you still bitter because of what happened in that last relationship. And we got to stop declaring and decreeing things over our lives that you really don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, nah, I'm good. I don't ever want to be married. Nah, I'm good. I don't ever want to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When the truth of the matter is, you really desire the opposite of what you're saying, but fear causes you to feel as if it will never happen. Did y'all know that all insecurities are fears? That's it. When a person says you're insecure, it just simply means you have a fear of ... You understand? And so we tend to run away from these words. Oh, I'm not insecure. I'm very secure in who I am. Well, I have certain insecurities that I'm still working through right now. All insecurities are fears. So don't just because you have feelings of insecurity, you don't necessarily have to be a insecure person. You understand what I'm talking about? Because you can do the necessary work so that you can overcome and foster healthy relationships. So today we're talking about hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. All right. Hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. All right. That's what we're talking about today. So number one, our relationships are oftentimes filled with unnecessary judgments. We don't like to talk about it. We don't like to talk about it. We don't like to admit it. Oftentimes, our relationships are filled with unnecessary judgments. We tend to surround ourselves with people who act like us, talk like us, dream like us, think the exact same way that we do. But if everybody around you thinks like you, talks like you, dress like you, walk like you, read the same books that you read, how is iron going to sharpen iron? You understand? If you don't agree with the way your girlfriend is raising her kids, that don't mean you got to judge her. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've had situations like that where I've been friends with people and I didn't understand the certain decisions that they made. And in my heart, can I be honest? I judged them at times. Like, yo, you gonna do that? Like, how you gonna leave your kids, stay with your mama and I don't understand that. But it wasn't for me to understand. All it was for me to be supportive. And so a lot of times we judge our friends. Number one, our relationships are often filled with unnecessary judgments. You judge their marriage. You judge their friendship. Well, she's supposed to be home with her husband and she's supposed to be da. We have all of these judgments, guys, that we don't talk about. We have all these judgments that we don't acknowledge. And then we wonder why our friendships are not lasting. We wonder why our relationships are constantly shifting and broken. All right. We tend to surround ourselves with people who act like us, do everything that we do. But if someone shares a different perspective, we tend to judge them, shy away, or reject them due to their opinion or belief system. We got to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally got to do better. Right. Number two, we're talking about hard truths about relationships we don't want to admit. We tend to look down on people when we disagree with them. So not only do we feel with unnecessary judgments or bias, right? But we tend to look down on people we disagree with them. We all carry certain biases in our relationships that need to be broken. We don't want to admit it. We don't want to be honest about it, but it's the truth, right? Like, what you doing buying that? You know you ain't got no money in your account. That's their business. You understand? I have been guilty of being overly involved in other people's affairs at times when I'm like, yo, you didn't even ask my opinion, did you? I'm so sorry. Like, wisdom has taught me, yes, as my profession, I'm a coach, but I had to learn how to take that coach hat off and just be Carla and be a friend that someone needs. Sometimes when people are talking to you, they're not asking you to fix it. They're not asking for your opinion. They're not asking for a response. Sometimes they just want you to listen and say 2 words. I understand. I get it. Or watch this, or ask, is there anything I can do? Right? Too often, disagreements lead to disconnection, and it shouldn't be the case. How many times have you had a disconnection with a girlfriend or a homeboy or just with someone you're in a relationship with, and then y'all disconnect for what? Just because we disagree don't mean we got to disconnect. Come on. Relationships require maturity. And if I could be honest, there was some relationships that I've had in my life that I wasn't mature enough to handle at a certain time in my life. And now I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm more clear on the type of people I want around me. So yes, I've cleaned out my circle. Yes, it does get lonely sometimes. Yes, it can get hard, but I'd rather have one solid person walking with me than have a whole bunch of people crowding my space that don't have their intentions aren't pure towards me. See, that's another problem in relationships. We keep the wrong people around, taking up space. So when the new people show up, we sing songs like "No New Friends," "I'm Good." You better check your perspective. Because sometimes them day ones, you call your A1 since day one, you've outgrown them, but it makes you feel good about yourself because you're the only one in the group popping. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be the only one in my group popping. I don't want to be the only one in my group making money. I don't want to be the only one in my group, manifesting the visions that God has given me. I don't want to be the only one in my group winning. And people that are like that, they have insecurities. They have poor mindsets. They're not secure in who they are, and they have self-esteem issues because they're the only one that want to be best dressed. They're the only one want to have the sharp gear and the big cars and the money and all that stuff. I remember growing up, we used to go to the club. Now, we me and my friends, we was different. I was a different kind of friend. I've always been that way. All right. I've always been that way. My friend came over and she was unsure about her outfit, or if I had something in my closet that can make what she had on pop, I'd be like, yo, I just got these heels. They'll look dope with your outfit. Never mind that I just bought them and I ain't worn them yet. Never mind that we're going to go to the club and they're going to get stepped all over. Oh, I just bought these earrings. That'll look hot with that. Or, yo, I got this skirt that match great with your shoes. I'll go right in my closet and give it to her. That's the kind of friend I was, because I ain't want to be the only one popping when we step out. You understand what I'm talking about? So I was like, yo, this right here will look really hot on you. And I would go in the closet and give it to him. So you got to begin to assess yourself and ask the hard questions and be like, yo, do I have certain insecurities in my friends? Do I feel more comfortable hanging around broke people than people that's getting money because I'm insecure? Huh? You and I should surround ourselves with people that force us to level up. Come on. You and I should be around people that force us to level up, that won't tolerate mediocrity. I already understand. I can't be friends with everybody. I love everybody, but everybody can't be in that intimate space. I'll never forget. It was a missionary. Came to me 2015. I'll never forget it. Actually, 2015. And she told me, she said, Carla, listen. She said, I know you got a big heart. She said, now your big heart is one of your greatest blessings, but it can also be one of your greatest downfalls. She said, you can love people. She said, but everybody don't need to get here. She said, and right now you let everybody get here. And that's why my heart was always broken. I was always disappointed. I couldn't find people to match my energy. And I was afraid to walk alone. Can I be honest? And I let everybody get here. So now I had to learn how to be more discerning. And then she said, you got to start valuing yourself a little more. When you don't check people that come into your life and you don't seek God and say, what is this person? Good morning, baby. What is this person here for, God? What is this person's role in my life? Whatsoever, whenever purpose hasn't been established, we will mishandle it. You understand? When we don't know the purpose of something, 9 times out of 10, we'll misuse it. So, and I've had relationships with people in my life. I'll never forget. I had a lady who I looked at as my spiritual mom and mentor, but she looked at me as her equal. And it threw the balance of the relationship off because there were certain things she would do and say around me that I wasn't ready to handle because I had her up here. But she looked at me like, yo, we the same. She had been longer for a friend, a sister girl in ministry, and then I'm up here like, yes, this is my spiritual mom and mentor. So I couldn't understand how you prophesying and laying hands and you slaying demons and people getting free, but then you get in the car and you a gossip about your church members. I had a problem with that. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. And so I understand that when you are connected to certain people, there's a level of maturity that is required. I was guilty of idolatry. I would idolize certain people. Come on, can I just talk about me? We're talking about fostering healthy relationships with God, with ourselves, and with other people. And so I would put people up here, and I've done that a lot. I be putting people up here that really ain't up there, but because I wanted them to be up there and I want to speak life, I guess I was speaking those things, child, to be not as though they were. You understand? And so whenever you have relationships, you got to be clear on what's what. You can't be looking at somebody as a friend and they looking at you as their mentor. You can't be looking at somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like you looking at them as bae, or you look, I've had this, where I look at people as friends, like, yo, you know how, you know, in the Black community, everybody your cousin. So I had this cousin that I grew up with back in the day. We used to club, party, hop, everything. And years later, he tried to holler at me and it completely threw me off. Because in my mind, like, yo, we family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not blood family, but we got cousins. Y'all know how it is. When we share the same cousin, but we ain't cousins, but we say we cousins. It was like that. But in my heart, you my cousin. Like, I remember plenty of times I would leave the club drunk. Can I testify? Don't y'all judge me? Ain't got time for y'all judgment today. How we gonna foster a healthy relationship with each other if you judging me? Right? We used to go to the club, party, hop, everything, and he would look after me, made sure nobody didn't bother me. I felt like if he ever was gonna holler, he could have been hollered. You wait till years later and then say something slick, and it completely threw me off. I no longer felt safe. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at you one way, and you're looking at me another way. Can I be honest? I've had that happen a lot in my friendships. With men and women. Y'all don't want me to be honest with y'all today. Y'all don't want me to be honest. Audrey says, that was me. I let people get too close without properly discerning their intentions and ended up hurting a lot of times. Yeah, and then on the flip side of that, I always say, be cautious, but don't be suspicious. I have missed out on great divine connections because of my suspicion, because of the season of my life that they came in on. I might have just got finished dealing with a clown, and then God wants to send a covenant sister, and then I ain't ready to handle what she has to offer because I'm still trying to heal from this wound. Come on. Maturity is required for some relationships. Yes, maturity is required for all relationships, right? And so it just threw me off. Like, I've been friends with people. Some of y'all have witnessed my journey. And unfortunately, the whole truth can't be told because God will be like, cover them. Now, every now and then, I'd be like, look, I don't feel like covering them today. I don't feel like not speaking on this. How you gonna be friends with somebody all this time and everybody know about? Y'all seen it. Y'all followed me for a while. You seen people come and go. And can I be honest? The common denominator was me. So I had to check me. I had to go to God. I had to take responsibility. You can't keep doing this. I had to take responsibility. Be like, okay, God, what is it? Because every year my friends change. Anybody else feel like that? You be like, yo, every year my friends change. And I was like, yo, what is it? And so I had to assess myself. And what it was I had a lot of codependent behaviors. I had unresolved mommy issues, unresolved daddy issues. I would get to people and get connected to people, and I would cling to them for dear life, and I would turn them into many gods. Come on, I'll just talk about me throughout my journey. These are things I've assessed that I've done. You know what I'm saying? She said, you stepping on my toes. These are things that I've done. We ain't talking about you. We're just going to talk about me. That I've done. I'm calling people sisters that time has not even tested the relationship. Why am I calling you my sister? But then I'm shocked when you bite me because you wasn't a sister. You was a snake. You was a snake from the beginning, and but I couldn't hear it because I was so excited about the connection, because my validation came from who I was connected to. And so God had to strip all of that away. He said, you still ain't getting it, but you gonna get it. He was like, you still ain't getting it, Carla, but you gonna get it, because we're gonna stay here until you get it. I'll remove everybody until you figure it out, until you learn, like, yo, every relationship that you have has to flow out of your connection with me. If it's not rooted and grounded in me, then it ain't gonna last. You understand what I'm talking about? And so I had to do some real soul searching. Now, does that mean every situation was my fault? Absolutely not. But I am so guilty of not paying attention to certain things. God will show me things. Anybody ever had God show you something about somebody and you be like, I didn't want to see that, or you ignore or act like you didn't see what you said? This is what I feel about relationships. If you can only honor me when I'm present, if you can only honor me when you're in my presence, but you forget about me when I'm not around, what's that? Huh? Come on, y'all. We got to be honest. And then I see she said, I'm so nervous about starting relationships and friendships with people. Listen, that's why I'm here, to assist you. I'm here to be transparent about my journey and be like, yo, this is how we foster healthy relationships. It ain't really about the people. We make it about people, but it ain't about them. It's really about us and what's in our hearts. It's really about us, and is our relationship with God really as solid as we claim it to be? Is our relationship with ourselves really healthy? Do I have a healthy relationship with myself? And 9 times out of 10, we don't. And that's why our friendships and our romantic relationships don't last, because it's not flowing out of a healthy vessel. You understand what I'm saying? Are y'all catching what I'm putting down? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But here's the deal. Can I tell y'all a secret? And this was a hard truth for me to accept, that whatever you attract is some of them in you, and God will use them to get it out of you. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever you attracting, if you attracting people that say they ride with you, but if you pay attention to the characteristics, there are certain characteristics that you also carry. We call them from the spiritual perspective, familiar spirits. You understand? I know we're going to go there for a second. So it's something in you that connects with something in them, and then boom, y'all get connected, and you trying to figure out what happened, because God's trying to expose what you carry, but he going to show it to you through another person. But sometimes we too blind to see it. We so woe is me, and oh my God, everybody that love me, leave me. You got to change the narrative. You got to change the declaration. You got to change what you're putting out there. You got to begin to become the list that you so often create. Even in romantic relationships, we got these long lists. I want this person to do this and have good credit and all of that. And since you don't even make up a fraction of that list, we attract what we are, not who we pretend to be. You understand? All right, let's keep going. Is this good? Is this helping y'all today? Number 3, we're talking about fostering healthy relationships, and these are hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. Number 3, we dismiss some relationships as if they don't matter. We dismiss some relationships as if they don't matter. We got to stop acting like folks didn't matter to us when they really do. You understand? Let me tell y'all, the number one thing that will destroy a friendship or relationship quicker than any other is the spirit of pride. The spirit of pride with an ego edging God out of your relationship will destroy a kingdom connection quicker than anything else. Because ego and pride, you don't want to apologize. Ego and pride, you don't want to call first. Ego and pride, you don't want to admit that you was wrong. Ego and pride, you don't want to, listen to what they got to say without interrupting. Egos and pride have destroyed a lot of kingdom connections. You understand? There are some people that you and I both should be connected to right now, but either because of our ego or their ego, we're not connected. Now, you got to learn how to let that go. There's been some friendships that took me years to get over. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, if there's anybody I ever loved, and I say this all the time, if I ever loved you then, I love you now, but I had to learn to love me more. And so, yeah, there are people, even people that have hurt me, that still come across my mind. But you know what I do? I pray for them. I be like, God bless them. I don't go jumping on their social media and see how they doing. I pray for them and I get it off of me and I keep it moving. There are times when I be like, dang, like, yo, man, this person was really moving and shaking. And man, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I teach my students this in Trailblazers Coaching Academy, and I teach it in one-on-one coaching. Always tell them, when I teach them their boss elevator pitch, which is how they introduce themselves. So for me, With Women of Standard Network, our mission is to coach women on how to get unlocked, unleashed, activated into purpose from the pulpit to the marketplace, right? And we're all about authentic sisterhood. So because I'm all about authentic sisterhood, that's the number one area that the enemy will fight me in most of my days. All right. He fights against my relationships. He fights against that. And so I had to learn how to develop a battle plan and a strategy. So I had to learn how to get healed from my emotional trauma. I had to go to therapy. I had to go do some inner work. I had to release people that I still held in my heart. I had to deal with hatred and bitterness that I still carried in my heart. There's only 2 people I've hated in my whole life, child. And we're going to get to that in a minute, because we got to release that hate, because you actually make a covenant with the person that you hate. You understand? You got to start hating what they did to you, but don't hate the person. I know that's tough. I know it's hard, but you ain't got to do it by yourself, because you have help. Everyone that enters into our lives came to teach us something. So number 3 is we dismiss some relationships as if they don't matter. Everyone has something to teach. Whether they teach you to pay closer attention, whether they teach you to be more prayerful, whether they teach you to be more discerning, whether they teach you to deal, how to move in your relationships. Like, I've learned now to pace myself in my friendships, to pace myself in relationships. Whenever I feel like I'm overextending, Holy Spirit, now I hear the voice, because we can hear it, but we choose whether or not we adhere to it. You know what I'm saying? Hear and adhere to it. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You can hear what God is saying, but you got to choose to obey it. And so now when I feel like I'm going too far, I pull back. And I got to pull back a little bit, because God don't want you to make nobody your whole world except for him. And we do that. We allow people to just become our everything. You got to talk to them every day, all day. I need friends in my life who are self-sufficient. I need friends in my life who have a healthy relationship with God, and they're not looking to me to be God in their life. Come on. And so when you begin to experience a level of self-awareness, you will gain clarity on what it is that you truly desire, what it is that you truly need, and you'll deal with those misplaced expectations. All right? I've been in friendships that felt like relationships. Like, why I feel like we go together? Like, why you mad because I ain't called you back today? Like why you mad because I'm hanging out with my other friend? Okay, this starting to feel weird. These dynamics is starting to feel a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Can I be honest? Like, it's starting to feel a little weird. What is going on here? Pineapples, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I kept tolerating it. So we teach people how to treat us. I've been in friendships with women where it felt like we go together. Like, what are we doing? Why I feel like that? You know what I'm saying? I've it's all right. We both single together. You'll just be my babe. You'll be my boo. But what are we doing? This is weird. Like, what? That's a covenant that we just made that don't even make no sense. So we got to begin to denounce and renounce these covenants that we are making. Some of y'all out there, I ain't the only one that's been through this, child. Some of y'all got friendships that's tainted. They ain't right. You looking at her as sis, and she looking at you like sis. Don't y'all think it's just men that you got to deal with? We trying to figure out how the heck to be friends with the opposite sex. Nah, boo. What do you do when you find out those individuals closest to you are secretly in love with you and y'all are the same kind? I've dealt with all of that. So not only have I had to look out for the men, I had to look out for the women who claim they want to be my friend, but then low-key want to get with me. Like, yo, we going to talk about it today, because if we going to foster healthy relationships, we got to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to ask somebody, like, yo, why is it that my friends tend to be attracted to me? What is going on here? Am I getting off some vibes? Am I giving off some energy? Am I, what am I doing? I always, my issue with relationships is I will always blame myself. But maybe I didn't do something right. Maybe I said something, and I'm very affectionate. I'm the type, I love my friends. Like, if I love you, like, come here, girl, I love you. And some people, it just be, I don't know what they be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we in the bed? Girls sleep together. Y'all know how we do. But why is you spooning me, sis? Like, what is going on here? I'll never forget being in a situation and I'm being spooned. And I promise y'all, I know y'all be like, yo, you so outspoken, you so raw. I know you didn't just take that. I promise y'all, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is this? This ain't right. I don't know what to do. I'm too far away from home to say anything. Maybe I should say something, maybe I shouldn't. Don't know what is going on here. Anybody ever been in uncompromised? You've been in situations where you just be like, I don't know what that is, but I know that ain't right. And then you something blows up and it's a lot bigger and you trying to figure it out. Can I tell y'all, there are some relationships that God allowed, some people that God allowed to disconnect from you because your foolish behind did not have enough sense to walk away from them. You thinking y'all sisters and they was trying to be your sister. You understand what I'm talking about? Like you be thinking one thing, you looking at them one way. Like I'm telling y'all, I remember a time, y'all, true story. This might be too much for some of y'all. Come back tomorrow. But I'm true story because we so much talking about, well, as women, how do you have a healthy relationship with men? That ain't the issue. You'd be like, how do I have a healthy relationship with these women, child? Because someone don't be right. I remember a time I was friends with this girl. She was married. She was older. Everybody always older than me. Y'all know I'm young. They were always older than me. And I remember this time, and I've been on both sides. Don't get it twisted. I've been on both sides. And I was like, and she came, I'm, crying. I'm going through some stuff. And my friend that I thought was my friend at the time, this is another one God had to snatch away. She had to walk away from me because I ain't have enough sense to walk away from her. And she went to kind of caress me, to hold me. And that hold didn't feel right. That it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that didn't feel right. You know how like, okay, I might be a little too real for some of y'all. You know how like, we're talking about fostering healthy relationships. Well, before we can foster healthy relationships, we got to identify the dysfunctional ones. Come on. See, this is the problem with the church. We don't like to be real and talk about the real stuff. We just want to tiptoe and act like certain things aren't existing. And then you trying to figure out why this going this way, why this look like this, why I feel like this, what is this, why did I tolerate this, was I, and you keep blaming yourself. No, we got to start being honest. And this is beyond keeping it real. It's about being honest so that we can heal. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can heal. And that touch, I'm like, that don't feel right. Like, okay, had another friend. I've had some friends in my lifetime, child. So I thought. Had another friend. Why is you showing up at my house? We about to have a seafood boil and you got on lingerie, see-through. What is going on here? Like, I don't know what just happened. Sis, where's your clothes? Like, what are you doing? You understand? And y'all know the difference between a sister touch and a boo touch. You know the difference. Some of us would be acting like we don't know, but you do know. And so we got to identify, the dysfunctionality that are in relationships before we keep jumping out there trying to get connected to other people. We got to deal with those things that are off. Or if you can't be friends with a guy because every guy you become friends with, y'all sleep together. You got to deal with that. You got to figure out, what is that? Why is it that every guy I become friends with, we can't just be friends? I gotta sleep with him. Why is that all my friends? Come on, you gotta deal. We cannot conquer what we cannot confront, and we cannot confront what we will not identify. All right. So God doesn't always give you the people that you need, that you want. Sometimes he'll give you the people that you need. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm standing in the midst of this today. When I look around, the people that's still here, it's shocking. The ones that I was like, the ones that was like, yo, we're gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. It's me and you forever friendship. You my I look around, where they at though? I don't know where they at. Yeah, some people God had allowed to walk away from me because I didn't have sense enough to walk away from them. And so again, if we are going to foster healthy relationships, that's what the message is today. I know that was a lot, but I'm talking about my experience. You think about yours. If we gonna foster healthy relationships, we first got to deal with the dysfunction that continues to occur in our friendships. So we're talking about hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. Hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. All right. Number 4, and it's only 6. Number 4, certain, in relationships, we tend to take things too personally. Come on. We tend to take things too personally. We said this before. Emotional maturity is key in any type of relationship or friendship. All right. For a relationship to flourish, it will require maturity. You got to have a mature mindset. You need mature emotions. You need mature expressions and responses. Just because we disagree don't mean we got to disconnect. We got to stop falling out over everything. So we got to have a healthy mindset. We got to have a mature mindset that says, yo, I noticed something is a little off. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. And I get it. Some people you can't have conversations with because they don't want to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to foster healthy relationships, it's going to require maturity. And we got to stop taking everything so personally. right? Rarely do people do things because of you. They do things because of them. Come on. Rarely do people do things because of you. They do things because of them. One of the mindsets that I had to break in therapy was equating my self-worth to how someone treated me. Determining my self-worth according to how somebody treated me. Because they walked away from me, or I must be a bad person. What did I do? I have spent years, times, wrecking my brain. What did I do? Why did I walk away sooner? Or why this, why that? When you just got to learn that acceptance is a great way to move on with your life. Some things you got to accept. There are certain things about certain friendships, relationships, people I've dated, people I've been friends with that will never make any sense to me. But I had to learn that, rarely do people do things because of you. So for those of you that's out there still beating yourself up and you trying to figure out why that relationship didn't work, why you choose her, why you and this person ain't friends, why they started acting funny, most of the time it's not about you. It's because of them. People are fighting their own demons. People are dealing with their own issues. And you got to stop taking everything so personally. And in friendships, I took everything personal. Oh, yeah, it was personal. And I had to learn, Carla, it's time for some spiritual maturity. You got to begin to get more mature in this thing. You got to stop looking for, because my thing was sisterhood. It's when I would bring people in, you become my sister. But I didn't check the characteristics. I overlooked a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And there is no perfect person. Nobody's going to come into your life and be perfect. You're not perfect. We're all flawed, right? But we do got to have some type of synergy that keeps us in alignment with our purpose. We can't be walking like this. We got to be in agreement. What the Bible says, how can two walk lest they agree? And I don't think agreement means we think the same way, we do the same things, we dress the same way, we want the same things. Is we can deal with conflict in a healthy manner. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. How to handle conflict the right way. Because conflict is inevitable. It's going to arise on your job, in your romantic relationships, in your personal relationships, but how you handle it is a determining factor of what the outcome will be. And so I had to learn to take responsibility. The only person I could take responsibility for is me. I'm not taking responsibility for nobody else's missteps or their mishaps. I can only take responsibility for me. Number 5. Is this helping y'all? I know this is a lot. When you come on the Carla Cannon Show, we got to talk about real life stuff because we're experiencing real life. Aren't you tired of all of just a whole lot of for no reason, unnecessary meat? I don't care nothing about the girl who sprayed the Gorilla Glue all over her head and then her hair was stuck for 3. I don't care nothing. How is that going to help me get where I need to go? How is that going to help me doing this foolishness and being wrapped up in all this foolishness, these memes and things like that going on social media? How is that going to add value to my day? It might give me a good laugh, you know what I'm saying? But that's still a person. So we got to start giving more attention to things that are going to help us grow and evolve into who God has called us to be. All right. So hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit, but are necessary. Right. Let me see. We place too much blame. Okay, there we go. Number 5. We place too much blame or responsibility on the other person. If we're going to foster healthy relationships, yes, we want to take responsibility. But sis, bruh, you can't take responsibility for everything. You can only take responsibility for your part. You understand? I remember watching this movie. Anybody ever seen a movie called Cover? And it was a movie called Cover. And it was a woman who was married to a man who married her because he was gay and he was trying to cover it up. He thought marrying a woman would, deal with however he felt. And he was still sleeping with other men in this club and just doing all this weird stuff while he was married to his wife. And so when it came out, she had to admit that I admit I am guilty of being naive, because there were certain things that wasn't adding up. The money that he made, the money that he was spending in the house that they was living in didn't match his current salary. The people that he had around him were suspect. She was like, yo, I am guilty of being naive. And sometimes we're naive in relationships, right? So we got to make sure we don't take too much responsibility, and also don't place too much blame or responsibility on the other person. It's not anyone else's job to fill our empty inner space. We can feel that. Only God can feel that. We got to deal with misplaced and unrealistic expectations in relationships. Let's go back to this. I know I said it earlier. It's not anyone else's job to fill your empty inner space. What happened to you is not your responsibility. It's not your fault. What happened to you may not have been your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. So if you getting friends because you want to feel important, you want to connect to certain people because you want to be seen, you got to start checking the intention of your heart. We really got to do a heart check and really look and see, why are we making the moves that we're making? Why are we doing the things that we're doing? Why do we give this person more attention than that person? Because you feel like this person can take your career to the next level. But meanwhile, you got a genuine person over here who's just going to be there, whether you succeed, whether you fail, whether you win, and whether you're not. They're just going to be there. And so a lot of times we choose the wrong people. I'm guilty of allowing my compassion to override my discernment. That's what I'm guilty of in most of my encounters, right? I have been so guilty of, I allow my compassion to override my discernment. So what I had to learn how to do was slow down, assess, be clear. You know what I'm saying? I had to start moving differently because of the craziness. I've been through a lot of craziness, right? Twisted perceptions of what this friendship's supposed to look like. So I had to start moving differently, right? I had to start moving differently. And so when you start moving differently, it's going to cause people to approach you differently. Now, I don't get approached the way I used to get approached because I don't carry myself a certain way. My heart not on my sleeve. I don't put certain things out on social media. I used to put so much stuff out on social media that if you wanted to holler at me, you knew how to come. If you wanted to be friends with me, you knew how to come. People knew so much because I put it out there on social media. So you got to take responsibility for that. I know that's a lot. We got to deal with misplaced and unrealistic expectations in relationships. Before you can be happy and content with someone else, you first got to be happy and content with you. All right? Before you can be happy with someone else, you got to be happy and content with you. All right? That's good. Yeah, you got to be happy and content with you. Are you really comfortable with your own company? Life has taught me to move different. Life has taught me, like, yo, you got to embrace you. You got to love you. You all you got. Yeah. I had to learn, like, yo, I got to be comfortable in my own company. Before I can be happy and content with someone else, I got to be happy and content with me. Like, I can't tell y'all how many Valentine's Day or National Love Days I spent sad and depressed. Because I didn't understand my own worth. I didn't understand my own value. I didn't realize that my worth was not contingent upon whether I had a bae or not. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn, like, yo, I'm at a place now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm genuinely happy for people. Like, I don't care if you got a boo, you got a boo, you don't, fine. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's National Love Day and it's National Love Month. We should be spreading love every day, not just one day out the year. Just like Black History Month. I'm Black every day. You know what I'm saying? So this thing got to exceed beyond February, right? So we're going to foster healthy relationships, ladies and gentlemen. We got to first deal with our insecurities and not look for another person to make us feel secure or safe. See? You got to deal with those childhood traumas. Come on, right? We must deal with our insecurities and not look for another person to make us feel secure or safe. Should nobody have to tell you every day that you look good? You look so pretty. I get it. Let me tell y'all something. Let's go even further. Right? My number one love language used to be words of affirmation. That was my number one love language because that was the broken part of Carla. And then I went back, since I've been in therapy, went back into the love language test, and my number one love language now is quality time. Can I tell you that as you heal, as you mature, as you grow through what you go through, your love language can change? Did you know that? So yes, we all like to be told you're doing a good job. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But I realized my love language, my top love language was words of affirmation because I didn't get that as a child. So I had to deal with those childhood issues that were now these lingering issues from my childhood that had entered into my adulthood. I know we don't like to talk like that, but it's the truth. Your love language can change if you commit to doing the work. So I'm not saying like, oh, something is wrong with you if words of affirmation is a big deal, but let's get beyond that. Let's get to the root of it. Why is words of affirmation so big for you? 9 times out of 10, when you do that work and you really get to the root of it, it's because you probably grew up in a very critical and dysfunctional environment. You were constantly criticized or beaten down or broken down in a particular relationship, and you were told certain things. So you need other people to validate you. And let me tell you where it gets unhealthy: when you can't function and you can't be proud of yourself and happy for yourself and look in the mirror and say, girl, you fly, you did that, unless someone else validates it. That's when it becomes unhealthy. So it's nothing wrong. I mean, everybody, when you dating, you know what I'm saying, you want your boo to be like, babe, you look good, dark skin a little thick, girl. What? You want that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to receive that, but we should still be able to live and be happy without it. Anytime you need to feel good about yourself, pick up your Bible. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I am a friend of God. I am a daughter of Zion. I am the head and not the tail. I am more than a conqueror. You got to begin to tell these things to yourself. That's why declarations are so important. All right? Yes, I'm so proud of you, Linda. Linda said it's taken me 57 years to truly love being alone with me. And sometimes, listen, sometimes we don't value who we really are because we haven't spent enough time with ourselves. We give so much of ourselves to everybody else. But what about just shutting that down and be like, yo, I'm going to start giving to myself what I hope or constantly am looking to receive from other people. Come on. We got to be responsible for filling our own love tank. All right. So we got to deal with the insecurities and not look for another person to make us feel secure or safe. What happens when things go left, when they sometimes will? When you make a relationship your whole life and then it don't work out, then what you going to do? That's why we need to have a healthy balance, or what I call healthy harmony in every area of our lives. Anything or anyone you esteem more than God, you will lose it eventually. It never fails. We place something else that we do. We tend to place our self-worth and self-esteem in the hands of another purpose when it's our responsibility to nurture it. And then we unknowingly, so watch this. Wait, I want to go to number 6 yet. Number 6 is the last one. We got to stop placing, golden morning to you, baby. We got to stop placing our self-worth. I want to slow down to make sure y'all get this. I took a lot of time to deal with this morning because y'all know Mondays I don't see clients, so I got a little more time on Mondays and Fridays, all right? But we got to stop placing our self-worth and our self-esteem in the hands of another person when that is our responsibility to nurture it. What you say to yourself outweighs what anybody could ever say to you or about you. You can get somebody in your life that tell you they love you every day. But if you still weren't thinking about how the last person mistreated you or what you don't have and all this other stuff, you will never be able to receive or embrace true, authentic love and connections because you constantly tell yourself that you're not worthy. If I sit around and think about all the things I did wrong, if I sit around and think about all the mistakes that I made, I will be depressed. And a lot of times I was. But now I focus on all the things that I do right. God, I'm so grateful that I've learned through what I've gone through. All right. Number 6. And finally, we're talking about hard truths. Right? Hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. Number 6 and finally is we unknowingly, watch this, we are unknowingly in deep emotional relationships with anyone we hate. Let me read some of y'all comments. Losing yourself and someone is dangerous. We have to learn to love ourselves so we can attract that from different people. That's right. That confirmation should first come from having a sonship with God. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times we know these things, but we don't apply these things. We know it. We know that our relationship with God should be a priority, but do we practice it? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we got to learn how to get comfortable with our own company. Listen, how I had to learn to overcome codependency, and I'm still learning, is like, yo, you pretty dope. Like, be the friend to you that you desire to attract. Be the babe to you that you desire to attract. You know what I'm saying? Run your own bathtub. Run your own bath water. You know what I'm saying? Buy your own self some nice things. Be kind to yourself. Be generous to yourself, right? So number 6 is we are unknowingly, watch this. This one is so good, y'all. We are unknowingly in deep emotional relationships with anyone that we hate. Now, these are hard truths that we don't like to acknowledge and accept. When you hate somebody, you form a covenant with them. You develop a deep emotional connection with them. Watch this. To hate someone, it's to hold them tightly and which means to cut out a lifelong space for them in your heart and mind. It takes more energy to hate somebody than it does to love them. Let me tell you, I told y'all there's 2 people in my whole life that I ever hated, and I no longer hate them anymore. But I had to do the work, and one of the things that I did was I committed to praying for. These are different seasons of my life, right? And I committed to praying for them every single day, because it's hard to be mad with somebody that you constantly are praying for, right? And praying for real, like God bless them, because that's what the word tells us to do. And so to hate someone is to hold them tightly, to cut out lifelong space for them in our heart and mind. Some of us, we're not able to foster healthy relationships because we still hold hate in our heart from people that have been long gone. So we got to listen. It is my prayer today that we do a really soul search and do an assessment of the heart and find out what's hiding in your heart. Ask yourself, what's hiding in my heart? What is it? Is it hatred? Is it jealousy? What is it? Because a lot of times that's what's hindering it. Whatever is hiding in your heart is hindering you from developing healthy connections. All right? We all have work to do. Whatever you are hiding in your heart, whatever's hiding in your heart, you gotta dig deep and you gotta assess. You gotta ask, like in coaching, I ask really hard questions that get people to think. So, because the only way that you can experience breakthrough is you gotta dig deep so that you can overcome what's trying to break you. Don't let it break you. Instead, experience breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we do it. We gotta be honest. We gotta be transparent. We got to accept the help, and we got to do the work, and we got to repeat the process. Accept what we can't change what we can, admit our faults, get rid of ego, get rid of pride, love people. You know what I'm saying? Allow relationships to develop organically, but at the same time, be intentional so that you can nurture or foster relationships that matter to you. Today, if there's a relationship that matters to you, reach out to that person. Maybe y'all got off on the wrong foot. Maybe anybody got somebody right now that you ain't talking to and it's silly, and y'all not talking to each other for a silly reason. How about you break the ice? I know how it is to be like, yo, I get tired of reaching out. I get tired of being a bigger person. I get tired of having to fix it. But if they matter to you, you hurting yourself. If they matter to you, just reach out to them. Be like, yo, what up? Like, I don't know what happened. Or this is crazy. I love you. You know what I'm saying? You love me. Let's talk about this. And then we got to talk about it the right way. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how to handle conflict the right way. Because we handle conflict the wrong way. When there's conflict, we dismiss, we cut off. You know what I'm saying? We exit, stage left. You're going to be running the rest of your life. If every time conflict arises or every time there's a disagreement, you disconnect, you're going to be running away your whole entire life. You got to learn how to stand there. It's easier to run. It's harder to stay. And you're talking to a previous runner. When it used to get hot, I was out. Like, I ain't got time. And let me tell you what I learned. I can run. I can relocate. But when I look up, I still got to deal with me. Even when I made a decision to move to a new city, I could leave my hometown that was symbolic to my pain, which was the origin, rather, of my pain. But I brought all that with me, and I had to still do the work. The number one person that you can never get away from is you. So if we're going to foster healthy relationships, we got to be willing to do the work. We got to be willing to be honest. We got to make some assessments. Tell people that you love them. People are leaving away from this earth. You walking around here not speaking to somebody for years and years out of stubbornness. We got to check the heart. What's hindering? Whatever is hidden in your heart is oftentimes what's hindering you from progression and forward movement, not just in your relationships, but in your life and in your business. All right. What resonated with you the most today? I know that was a lot. This was me. My family called me Gypsy. I moved so much in my younger days. Wow. I'm just getting on this message for me. I have to go back and listen to it. It'll be up, baby. It'll be up here. What resonated the most with y'all today? I want to know. What resonated with you the most today? Let me look at y'all comments. If I could be honest, like, yo, this is a topic I ain't even want to talk about. Because I'm still learning. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. And it's the biggest area that I had to pray the hardest in. Because the enemy always fights me in my relationships. Always. But I had to learn, like, yo, fight or flight. Anybody can run, but you got to work through some things. All right? What's your biggest takeaway today? Type it on the screen. Let me know. So I'll recap real quick. We talked about hard truths about relationships that we don't want to admit. Number one, I said, put them on the screen. I'm going to read them. Put it in the comments. Tell me that. Tell me what your takeaway is today. And if you have any questions, if you have a burning question about a relationship or a situation that you're dealing with the help of Holy Spirit, I'll be able to provide you with some wisdom. So number one, I said our relationships are filled with unnecessary judgments. We got to stop judging people. Number two, we tend to look down on people when we disagree with them. We got to stop doing that. Number three, we got to let people be who they are. Number three, we dismiss some relationships as if they don't matter. Stop acting like people don't matter in your life when you know they do. Number four, we take things too personally. Relationships require maturity. Number five, we place too much blame on or responsibility on the other person. Nah, take responsibility for your part, but stop owning your part and theirs. That's a form of self-hatred. Nah, we're not doing that in 2021. Number six, we are unknowingly in deep emotional relationships with anyone we hate. So we got to break through that bondage. We got to break through the barriers of what's really holding us back. All right. So I'm about to read y'all comments. I'm going to start on Instagram first. So if you got any questions or comments, I'll read them. Right now we're sharing what's your number one takeaway from today. And then I'm going to share some resources with you to assist you on your journey. Ms. Jones says, learning how to trust again after losing my friend. Trust me, I understand. This was so good and so much to take in. I have to go back and watch it again. So many points pertain to me and my life. Praise God. She said the part about hate. Oh, yes. To go and check in on the person I care about that's not speaking to me. Yeah, do some soul searching. The love language. Yeah, your love language can change. Your love language can change. Have you thought about doing a workbook that can be walked through? That's what my books are. My books really are workbooks. They almost serve as coaching programs that you can walk yourself through. They're not just words on a page, but they have questions most of the time that you can answer. And they include journal pages. And so when you see today's offer, you'll see what I'm talking about. What else y'all saying? 1, 3, and 5. Okay, awesome. You needed all of it. Got it. All right, let me see what y'all saying on Facebook. Anybody have a burning question? This topic needs to be discussed. Yes, this is a topic that needs to be discussed. Yeah, because if I could be honest, y'all, I got so discouraged in my relationships because in one season, it was a lot of preachers that, I'm talking about preachers I admired, even people that I was in very close relationship. They were just teaching us to cut everybody off. It was like, cut this one off, cut that one off. I was like, yo, if I keep cutting everybody off, I'm gonna run back across these people one day. Like if I keep cutting everybody off, I'm gonna be by myself. I don't believe cutting people off is the answer. Sometimes you gotta have communication. You gotta talk. You gotta establish healthy boundaries. That's why the more you spend time with yourself and you get to know you, you'll begin to get clarity on what is it that I really want in a friend. Am I the friend that I'm hoping to attract? Am I the partner I'm hoping to attract? All right. Doing your own work, Sandra, awesome. Alicia says, finding out what's in my heart. Yes, check the heart for healthy relationships with God and self. Inner healing. Yes, we take things too personally. That's a good takeaway. Let people be who they are. Yeah, and you get to determine, you get to choose who you want around you. You know what I'm saying? You get to choose who you want around you. All right? Stop running when things get hard and stop acting like people don't matter. Yeah, because when people take their last breath and they dead and gone, y'all, that's it. When people take their last breath and they dead and gone, that's it. Love you too, baby. That's it. So you need to say what you got to say, get out what you got to say. Now, if you go to somebody and you express your heart and they acting all nonchalant, it's no longer your responsibility. It's on them. Yeah. Properly categorize the areas people fit in our lives. Yeah. You got to know who is who, what role they serve. And then you got to communicate it. So to me, this is what we are. What am I to you? You got to make sure. Remember I told you I had a spiritual leader, but I'm looking at her as a spiritual mentor and a spiritual mom and mentor. And now, and she was looking at me as her equal. So it was off balance. You know what I'm saying? It was off balance. I went through seasons of my life, looking for spiritual fathers, spiritual moms to fill the void. Man, I ain't got but one mama and one daddy. I don't really, now this is just me. I don't do all that. I'll say mentor, but I don't call nobody else mama. I don't call nobody else daddy. I even looked in the Bible and saw where it says you ain't got but one father, one. And I get it. We get into all these spiritual sons and spiritual daughters and spiritual mother and spiritual father. I got a whole different perspective on that now, y'all. Now that's me. You know what I'm saying? I get it. In the Black church, we create this whole new family, and that's your spiritual mama. My mama named Felicia. My daddy named Roscoe. That's it. I have mentors. I have people that I look up to. I don't call nobody else mama or daddy. Ain't got but one mama, ain't got but one daddy. Life had to teach me that because it was brokenness where I was constantly seeking these substitutes. That's a whole nother conversation, which I do talk about in my book, Life After Betrayal. Let me see what other lessons y'all got. Learn the lesson that spirits came to teach. Yes. Let me see what else. Everything you spoke about, dealing with mistrust and fostering healthy relationships. That's good, Alfreda. Thank you so much. I'm going to share this with my daughters. Yes. Thank you so much. And guys, really, when I share this on the Carla Cannon Show, I pray about them. Like, I already have the first quarter mapped out. January, February, March, the topics. And I'm like, God, what do you want me to talk about? What is it that people need? And honestly, I didn't even think about Love Month with February. That was just the topics that God gave me for, and it just fell into February. And I just think that in order for us to foster healthy relationships with others, we got to first have a healthy relationship with God and a healthy relationship with ourselves. All right. Chastity says, stop making excuses for people that are so quick to point out your flaws, but never admit to their own. Yeah, we got to get rid of these false burdens. Y'all hear me? We got to get rid of these false burdens and stop carrying stuff that ain't yours to carry. Stop it. All right. Oh my, I did that and learned that was not the way. Yeah. Sandra said her takeaway would be trusting again after being betrayed, but I must accept I overlooked the things I was seeing. Yes. We got to begin to declare I am 100% responsible for my life. I am responsible for my own life. What happened to me may not have been my fault, but my healing is my responsibility. And I'm going to share some resources with y'all today that's going to help deepen your healing experience. This is really helping me. What's hiding in my heart. Thank you, Antoinette. Forming a real love relationship with yourself and doing the inner work. Yes. She said, I did that for years, calling people mom and dad. Man, I did it too. And don't feel bad about it. Like, I had spiritual mamas, spiritual daddies, and all this weird stuff. I don't do none of that no more. All right. I embrace God as Abba. You know what I'm saying? And because the books that I write, let me tell y'all something. The books that I write are a reflection of my journey. That's what it is. So the more I heal, the more self-aware I become, the more I learn, I teach. Maya Angelou says, when you learn, you teach. And so that's really what all my resources are, whether it's my blog, whether it's the Carla Cannon Show, whether it's coaching, whether it's the books that I write. I'm sharing my journey through experiences that help heighten your personal experience. You know what I'm saying? Or take you to the next level in life and business. All right. Shar has a question. How do you deal with the heart and heart concerning relationships? You put in effort for years and the outcome is still the same. Should I walk away? Family related question. That's a great question. So I'm going to say it again. She says, how do I deal with the heart and heart concerning relationships that you put the effort into for years and the outcome is still the same? Should I walk away? I am not here to say whether you should walk away or not. What I will say is look at your expectations and see, do I have misplaced expectations? Do I have unrealistic expectations? Can I say this? So, since you say it's family, let's talk about it. Sometimes we feel like, well, that's my mother, so my mother should naturally be nurturing. My mother and I should have an emotional connection. That's my father. I should automatically feel safe and secure. That's my sister. We should automatically be close. That's my cousin. We should have a bond. Sometimes we give people a pass because they share our last name or they're a part of our bloodline. You got to start remembering people are people. Family is who you determine to be family. You understand? Blood make us related. Blood makes us related. Loyalty makes us family. So when you really begin, I'm gonna say it again, blood makes you related. Loyalty makes us family. And so a lot of times we experience disappointments in our relationships because people share the same, people that we're related to disappoint us because we feel like we this, we that, you're this, you're that. We should be experiencing this or that, not necessarily. So I began to experience healing as it relates to my family dynamics. I had to deal with misplaced expectations. There are some people will never be able to give you what it is that you desire, and you got to be okay with that. You got to accept people for who they are, for where they are, and for what they have to offer. That's where healthy boundaries come in at. That's where healthy boundaries, I know you my mama, I love you, but in certain capacity you don't have. I know you my sister. I know you love me. I know if I need you, you got me, but we don't talk every day. You my dad, you know what I'm saying? I know you love me, but my validation didn't really come from you, but I am still validated. It comes from God. I know you my cousin. Like, you got to literally begin to look at people as people. You know what I'm saying? My mom and I wrote a book called Redeeming the Time. And that's not even the one I'm mentioning today, called Redeeming the Time. And we did experience some healing in our relationship. But I talk about in that book how I had to stop looking at my mom as my mom, and I had to look at her as a woman. I know that's tough, right? I had anger, bitterness, anxiety, frustration, whole bunch of stuff towards my mom at one point. But it wasn't until I stopped looking at her as my mother and I looked at her as a woman. Like, Carla, you got grace with all these other women. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to your own people, you quick to judge and cut off and get angry and get mad. But you got grace for strangers. How often do we have grace for people we don't really know like that? But yet we are very short fused with the people we've known all our lives. We got to take responsibility. So when I started looking at my mother as a woman and beginning to understand her journey, and I was like, she did the best she could with what she had. I can either choose to be mad all my life, or I can understand that this is what she has to offer. This is who she is. I could take that and build, or I could disconnect or keep running around here trying to look for all these mamas. I went through that stage already. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my advice, is take the tips that I shared today, get your notebook, get your journal, write them out, and really begin to assess relationships. This is why the enemy hates when you slow down and you start really assessing and paying attention to who is who and what you're doing, and stop looking at other people and start looking at you, because you grow. And when you heal, you view life from a total different lens. All right. Hope that helps you, Shar. Let me know. Latoya says, I have issues with certain individuals, but I'm still cordial when need be. I've just chosen to not be in contact with them due to how they handle the situation and show me their deep thoughts towards me. I understand that. Nothing wrong with being cordial. I get it. You do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I do understand that avoidance is not the answer. Avoidance, when you go out of your way to avoid somebody, that reveals that you still got something in your heart. And y'all, there are people that are just cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? There are some people that have just been like, I'm the type of person, when you disrespect me one time, you don't get an opportunity to disrespect me again. Like, I'm big on honesty and respect. Those are my two things. It's like, I don't deal with liars and I don't deal with disrespect because I don't tolerate it. Because I don't offer it. However, there were times that I was disrespectful. When you cut people off when they're speaking because you disagree with something that they said instead of waiting for them to finish, that's a form of disrespect. I didn't realize that at the time. You see what I'm saying? I didn't realize it. So there's nothing wrong with being cordial, but just make sure you do an assessment of your heart. All right. I need to work through all of this. It's a lot to unpack. So I'm definitely replaying and taking notes. Yeah, it is a lot to unpack. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we don't got time to be out here living reckless and all in other people's business and following these trends on social media. You ain't got time. You got stuff going on in real life. You got stuff going on in real life, and I don't want anything in my heart to prevent me from the harvest that awaits me. I ain't got time. Come on. I don't want anything in my heart to prevent me from the harvest that awaits me. I'm gonna say that again. I don't want anything in my heart to hinder the harvest that awaits me. All right. Miss Beatrice got a question. Let's see if I can understand this. This is a long question, Miss Beatrice. Relational as wife, you taking responsibility and ask for conversation to resolve the conflict that is destroying the relationship or marriage. But he don't and will not take responsibility nor have the conversation and chooses to ignore. Now he said he don't know what he want in the relationship, in this marriage. And if I can accept this, then get the okay, what do you do? That's a good question. So basically, it sounds like there's a situation where there's a relationship and someone is not willing to own their part and take responsibility. And they're saying, listen, this is, he's clearly saying, this is what I got to offer. You can deal with it or choose not to deal with it, right? Now, nobody can tell you what to do. But when people tell you, when they show you who they are, you got to believe them. So you have a choice. Either I can settle for this or I can understand my worth and value and be like, yo, I'm not dealing with that. I have a choice. And let me tell you this, for a long time, my healing was held up because I was waiting on people to take responsibility for what they did to me. Remember I told y'all my mother's second husband who physically abused me, I seen him like in my early 20s, went to him and was like, yo, I forgive you for the things that you did to me in my childhood. He looked at me like he didn't know what I was talking about. And I had to make a decision from that moment like, yo, his failure to acknowledge what he did doesn't have to prevent my healing. See what I'm saying? Because I am 100% responsible to my life. What happened to me wasn't my fault, but my healing is my responsibility. So when people show you who they are, you got to believe them the first time. Life is all about choices. You and I have choices. You get to choose to be with somebody that abuse you or be with somebody who can properly handle you. But when somebody's telling you to get the H on and all that foolishness, you got to make some tough decisions. And really, it ain't that tough when you choose you first. But because someone doesn't acknowledge that they wronged you, it doesn't mean that your healing has to be put on pause. All right? Yes, I want all that God has for me. I swear my mom just came to me last night and asked me to help her because, yes, she is a woman first before she was my mom. And if God has graced me to help others, my mother, who I loved, is included. Absolutely. When we start really gaining clarity on these relational dynamics, it'll cause us to extend more grace to people, but still have boundaries. I hope that helped you, Miss Beatrice. Freddie says, I just used the common sense God gave me to make decisions. All right, Terry says, I'm still healing and learning to love myself and loving my own company. I do self-care every week so that when I get in another relationship, I know my self-worth. All right, that's great, but let's not do self-care every week. We got to implement self-care every day. All self-care is giving attention to yourself. You can't just give attention to yourself every week. You got to give attention to yourself every day. Be aware of what's in your mind, what's in your heart, what are your thoughts. Be conscious of what you speak. And all of that is a form of self-care. Not just soaking in the tub and going to get a massage. We got self-care all wrong. Self-care is how I attend to myself. I know this is good today. Come on. All right. Latoya says, learning to have healthy boundaries. It's a life changer. Yeah. And we got to not only just have the boundaries, but we got to communicate them. What good is it if we don't enforce them? All right. Learning how to admit everyone is not your friend. Yeah. And everything bad that happens ain't everybody else's fault either. Those two things set me free. Everybody ain't your friend. And everything bad that happens in your life is not always somebody else's fault. We got to take responsibility. That's when you got to put your big girl panties on and be like, yo, I played a part. I acknowledge mine. And if you go to somebody and try to reconcile and they don't want to reconcile with you, they have a choice. You got to walk away. I have been to people that I love dearly and I wanted to fix the relationship, and pride or whatever wouldn't let them fix it. It's no longer on me. When I go to you and ask you to forgive me, you know what I'm saying? I heard somebody say they will never forgive the woman who hit her husband on a motorcycle and killed him. And and God wouldn't let me open my mouth at that time because she wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. But I did pray about it. Sometimes God will put you in certain conversations, not so you can insert your thoughts, but so you will know what to pray for. And I said, God, if that woman who hit her husband and killed him has asked you for forgiveness, and that woman has laid that on the altar and she's released that, she's free. This person over here is stuck. Now that's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's work that needs to be done. So when you choose not to forgive somebody, you ain't unforgiveness is like drinking poison but hoping the other person die. You forgive for you, not for them. You know what I'm saying? So I've had people that I'll never forgive you for this. All right, but that's not mine to carry. We got to stop carrying these false burdens. So I asked God to forgive me, and I came to you sincerely, and you chose not to. All right, that's who I was in that season. You want to hold on to that? You can have that. You want to gossip about me, talk about me. That's not the person I am today. And I'm no longer going to try to prove people wrong. I'm just focusing on proving God right. That's it. We got to redirect the energy. We got to redirect our focus. All right, Beatrice says, yes, indeed, God. Carla, God, and you and me are a majority. I pray for you this morning. I thank God for you. I truly God sent and an anointed mentor, truly speaking what God has already spoke to me about in need some confirmation and clarity. Thank you. I'm honored. I'm so honored. Let me see. Uh-oh, I went through a lot of y'all comments real fast. I'm sorry. Yes, indeed. Shar says, I appreciate the advice. You're welcome, baby. Terry says, really good information. Y'all rocking out with me today. Life is work, and we need to develop and become mature. Yeah, we got to grow up. We are responsible for our own life. Yes. I don't want anything in my heart to hinder the blessings that are coming. Yeah. I don't want anything in my heart to hinder the harvest that God has planned for me. Come on. It did more than help. It set me free. Yes. It's something about freedom. Come on, y'all. Self-care is so important. Daily self-care. That's right, Crystal. All right, Venetia says, I experienced something similar. Apologized to a person and told them, I forgive you for the way he treated me. He was like, I don't have anything to apologize for. I feel like I've done my part. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you ain't got to go to the person. Sometimes God will have you go to him, but sometimes you don't. You know? And you got to release that weight and be like, yo, I did my part. All right? You are so connected to God, and this is so awesome. I'm thankful I can hit replay. You're so welcome. You're truly a blessing. Most don't use their healing journey to help others heal. Yes, 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 yes. I receive grace to forgive. Absolutely. So listen, now that you have the information that I shared today, right? You got the information that I shared to do. Oh, I see another question. All right, y'all bear with me. Let me answer this question on Instagram. And then I'm going to give y'all today's offer this week, the offer for this week. What do you do if someone blames you for 95% of, okay, hold on. What do you do if someone blames you for 95% of why the relationship didn't work? You release that weight because it is not 95% of your fault. It takes two people for something to go wrong, whether it's friendship or romantic relationships. I'm not going to bear all the burden. You understand? I'll bear my part. I'll own my part, but I'm not going to own your part and my part too. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes people are used again. I watched this movie. Did y'all watch Death? What's the show that just came on Lifetime with Megan Good? Her sister starred in it. Basically, the guy she was married to tried to use the thing. Thank you. I'm about to tell y'all about this. He tried to use the things he knew about her against her. He knew about the bipolar, the breakdown, the mom died, and he did everything he could to keep her stuck and to keep her broken. You know what I'm saying? And what was it called? The death that saved my life or something like that on Lifetime. Yo, that was a really, really good movie. I watched it over the weekend. Yeah. So no, don't own that. That's the answer. You know what I'm saying? What do? You don't own that. Ain't nothing 95%, 100% somebody else's fault. I don't care who it is. Never, ever, ever. All right. I'm glad. Okay, got it. Unforgiveness is like cancer. It starts in the heart, but if left unchecked, it will spread and contaminate the whole body. Yes, Sandra. Yes. You listen to the replay. Death saved my life. Yeah, Harley. That's what it was. All right. So here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give y'all an offer for this week. I definitely want to encourage you to watch the replay of today. Take notes. It's going to be good. All week we are talking about fostering healthy relationships. We got to have a healthy relationship with God. We got to have a healthy relationship with ourselves, in order to have healthy relationships with other people. And we got to apply all of these things. I could talk for days about this because I've gotten it wrong a whole lot, and I'm finally starting to get it right. All right. So the offer for this week. So I'm going to give y'all an offer. I'm going to share one Black business, one Black owned business that I recently supported, and want to encourage you guys to do the same thing. So the first thing is, if you are interested in growing and doing your personal growth and development work, and you're saying, yo, I need help. Like, Carla, I need assistance. I need assistance on my journey. I need to talk to a person. I need life coaching. I want you to email me, Carla@womenofstandard.org. Let's schedule a 20-minute consultation and talk about where you are and what's hindering you from experiencing the harvest that God has planned for your life. All you got to do is shoot an email to me, Carla@womenofstandard.org, right? And put the Carla Cannon Show in the subject line. And in 5 sentences or less, let me know what's going on, what you're dealing with, what you're experiencing, why you want a 20-minute session. I'm not just handing out 20-minute sessions. I gotta know that you really need help and assistance. And so what I offer as a breakthrough strategist is I assist you on how to break through the barriers. I provide you with tools, resources, and wisdom on how to break through the barriers of what's really holding you back. But you gotta be willing to participate in your own rescue. No blaming, no shaming. You got to take full responsibility, and you got to make that journey all about you. So I waived the $75 fee for a 20-minute consultation because you tune into the Carla Cannon Show. But the way you get the consultation is you got to be clear. It's a 20-minute consultation. The $75 is waived. You send an email to Carla@Women of Standard, not Woman of Standard, womenofstandard.org. Put the Carla Cannon Show in the subject line, and in 5 sentences or less, you tell me what's going on, and we'll get you scheduled, okay? The second thing is 2 resources that I want to assist you to offer you on your journey today are both of my books. I'm offering it as a value pack. Beloved, Experiencing God as Abba in the Fatherless Generation, all right? And then Life After Betrayal, How to Heal, Forgive, and Move On. I want you to read Beloved first. Beloved, if you will, is Life After Betrayal, if you will, is the sequel to Beloved. Beloved is all about experiencing God as Abba in a fatherless generation. These are the 2 books that I have on healing and overcoming, personal growth and development, right? But these are really about healing, doing your inner work, taking responsibility. Life After Betrayal is about acknowledging the self-sabotaging behaviors that you need to break. What did you allow? Why did you allow it? How to snatch back your power, right? I also talk about, what else I talk about in Life After Betrayal? This is my newest book. It talks about snatching your power back, understanding grief and abandonment, forgiving yourself, healing wounds that still hurt, the 4 Ds of destruction, blessing blockers, how to break the cycle, how to become more self-aware. All right. And so that's my latest book, Life After Betrayal. You get both of these for $25, right? Beloved talks about experiencing your truth, healing from childhood wounds, extending forgiveness to those who hurt you, denouncing the spirit of an orphan, experiencing God as Abba, and overcoming spiritual parent wounds. So in Beloved, I talk a lot about, this is where you learn about my journey to healing and recovery. I talk about growing up, pregnant at 17, in search of love, nightmares at 23. I had childhood, I experienced night trauma from my childhood all the way up until I was 23 years old. So I shared this to let you know you're not by yourself. I talk about understanding and healing a father wound. This is in my book, Beloved, right? I talk about experiencing God as Abba, prayer of hope, a forgiveness activity, how to detox your spirit after a heartbreak, beloved scriptures. I give you scriptures to declare and decree over your life. These are all resources, affirmations to declare daily, other books I recommend centered around inner healing and more. So you can get Life After Betrayal and Beloved for $25, and you send it via Cash App. We'll put it on the screen. Carla R, Cash App, $ Carla R Cannon. All right. And that's how you can get both of these on the website. Life After Betrayal is $18.95. Beloved is $14.95. You're gonna spend over $30 plus tax plus shipping and handling. So it's $25. You save almost $10 or more, basically. All right. So is you can submit payment 2 ways, one of 2 ways. PayPal to Carla@womenofstandard.org, or you can submit it via Cash App to $ Carla R Cannon. Like we always do, for those of you who may be new, I'm gonna let you know when you submit your payment via Cash App, put your email address. I'll know what it is because this is the offer for the day. All right, I see y'all Cash Apps coming in. Thank you so much. It's $ Carla R Cannon. You get both of these resources. These are about healing, overcoming, taking responsibility for your life, and doing the hard work, healing the father wound, healing the mother wound, overcoming the traumas or traumatic experiences, forgiving everybody for everything, and growing into the highest version of who you're called to be. That's what these resources are going to help you do. All right. So each one, when you get this today, is $25 for both copies. All right. And you'll get the ebook and the paperback version. All right. So don't forget, in both of these best-selling books, this is my latest book. I wrote Beloved in 2018, 2019, 2019. So I wrote this one and then I wrote Beloved. So don't forget, get these. This will assist you on your journey, assist you with doing the work. Let me see so y'all can see it. There you go. So this is Beloved and this is Life After Betrayal. All right. Lastly, one other thing that I want to do is, because it's Black History Month, I want to share a Black business, a Black owned business that I supported over the weekend. I actually went to the mall and there was this African lady who was in the middle, and I got some items from her. And so I got this bracelet, I got this head scarf, and then I got a mask that all matches the same design. And I'm going to tell y'all how you can get yours. If you like the African print, I love it. These earrings I have on today that say Black Queen. This actually comes from that lady. I have these earrings right here that I got from her. If you don't know, every week I support a Black business. Every single week I support another business owner. All right. And I really believe that that's why God allows my business to prosper. Every single week I find a business to support. These earrings right here. Can y'all see them? These right here. And then I got these as well. And they're super duper cute. And it's called Golden Stitches. All right. And she's at Golden Stitch Shop. No, it's shop.goldenstitches on Instagram. Shop.goldenstitches on Instagram. And her name is Miss Martina. Miss Martina. I got all of these items. I think I spent like a little over $50. But love these earrings. Say Black Queen. All right. Thought since I got my natural hair going, let me get it popping a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some, Africa. Let me get some of my apparel. So this right here, it's a Black owned business and it's called Golden Stitches. It's shop.goldenstitches on Instagram. All right. So I got the mask. I got this headband. Y'all gonna see me wear it too. And y'all see me wear all of that. So love to support other businesses. If you have a business, definitely post it in the comments because we want to patronize and support your business as well. Thank you so much. Sharana, I thought you would really love her. Miss Martina. It's shop.goldenstitches on Instagram. I definitely thought about you, Sharana. I was like, oh, Sharana would like all of these. Now we all know that we can go inside beauty supply stores and get some of this, stuff, but why not support another, like the Black owned business? I'm just saying. All right. So don't forget, get your resources. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired now. I feel like my day just got started. All right. So make sure you get your resources, Life After Betrayal, and shop.goldenstitches. That's right. That's what it is. Yep. On Instagram. Miss Martina, make sure you let her know the Trailblazer sent you. All right. Yes. So don't forget, get your copy. You get both of these for $25 on the website. You'll pay at least $10 more for both of these by the time you add shipping and tax. If you already have your copies, thank you so much for patronizing my business. The more y'all keep reading, the more I'll keep writing. All right. So each week on the Carla Cannon Show, not only do I share transformative concepts that teach you how to level up in life and business, but I also provide you with resources that can assist you on your journey. So don't just buy the book, but you got to open it, you got to read it and apply the information that you're learning. All right. So make sure you get this. You can do $ Carla R Cannon, submit it via Cash App, submit your email address, and you will receive a prompt response. You have those copies already. Thank you, Miss Beatrice. Yeah, Miss Beatrice got like Life After Betrayal in bulk. And if you want any of my books in bulk, like maybe you want to do a what's it called, like a book club, or you want to get together with some of your girlfriends, anytime you order any of my books, 10 or more copies, you get a discounted rate. So email me, Carla@womenofstandard.org, if you want to get any books at a bulk rate. It's not available on the website, but it is available if you contact me directly. All right. Have quite a few people that are, I think my client Sharonda has covered Life After Betrayal with her audience. Miss Beatrice ordered some for her family. And then I've had some book clubs to reach out to me and get their copies. So it's all about doing the work. You know what I'm saying? It's really all about doing the work. And Beloved is about healing from what everybody else did to you, right? Experiencing God as Abba, finding the good in everything that took place. And Life After Betrayal is learning how to grow through everything that you've been through, how to heal, forgive, and move on. So it requires you to do some work, and it's going to require you to do some digging. But I promise you, you'll experience exponential living and growth if you do the work on a consistent basis. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I got a couple of things to get done today. Don't forget, this offer is good. Go ahead and get your copy. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, know who you are, know whose you are, and never settle for less than God's best. Y'all have an amazing day. Before you go, make sure you click that share button. Share this broadcast. Thank you guys so much for helping spread the word of the Carla Cannon Show. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing day. Meet me back here tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be discussing what I tell y'all the topic was, Chad? How to handle conflict the right way. That's what we'll be talking about. All right. So y'all have a good day. Love you too. Thank you so much for your continual support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's jam a little bit as y'all going out. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you. Apply this wisdom. Y'all have a good day. See y'all.